Hello, everyone. Kyle at A0Z. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. And hey, look, I got Freddie Mac over here. Hey, Freddie Mac.
Hey, Kyle, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm glad to be sitting down. I'll just say that. It's been a long day.
Yes, I hear you. So first, let's get the accolades out of the way here. Freddie Mac has got a YouTube channel. If you have not, if you're living on planet Earth and you have a ham radio, you should be subscribed. Even if you're on Mars and you have a ham radio, go and subscribe to Freddie Mac's YouTube channel, Ham Radio Crusader. The link is in the description below. Give him a follow. You want to give a 30-second intro to your channel, just for if anybody out there does not know?
Well, you know, I've had a YouTube channel now for about 3 years, and you know, I retired from public service, and I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I discovered AllStar Link, and I'm like, oh, I seen a live stream with Kyle and Jason over on Ham Radio 2.0, and I'm like, they said this is a lot like Echolink, which I had a love-hate relationship with Echolink back in those days. And the more y'all talked about it, the more I fell in love. And then I jumped right on to YouTube, and started doing all the research. And without knowing up front that there was a ham VoIP version and an ASL version of the software. And I made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's the best way I learn, is to get out there, do the research, and fail a bunch of times and learn from it. And then I thought, you know what? I need to do some videos and help a few folks out, kind of describe what's the difference between this and that and the other thing. And wow, the response from everybody's just been overwhelming and much appreciated.
It is a great channel. If you want to learn about AllStar, if you want to learn about portable or handheld radios, there is just an absolute plethora. And also I love how you go through everything, and it's step by step, and I can literally and it's not too fast. We're like, you know, some people go through the commands really fast, and I'm like, oh, I stop, and then I got to rewind. It's like at your pace that I'm used to, and I'm able to enter the commands and do everything. So it's a great channel.
Well, I appreciate that.
You do a very, very good job over there.
Modeled it after the old men that can't see very good.
Where's my glasses?
Exactly.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do on this stream. I've got some goals that I need to accomplish.
Cool.
And Freddie Mac is the person that I gravitated to first, because he is the AllStar king over here. So this is what I need to do. And hopefully you guys in chat land will learn something. Maybe we should say hello to some guys over here. Ray, hello, Ray from Huntsville. Hey, I was just looking at my old chats, and I saw Ray. Ray kind of got me out of a bind in Huntsville. I had I don't know if you remember, but I got a nail stuck in my tire, and Ray helped me out down there in Huntsville. So good to see Ray again. We got Eric, N1JUR, got James, PKT Radio, Jody's in there. Bingo JM, not really sure who that is. Frank is in there. Traveling Ham, hey Mike, what's going on? Who else? Randall Rash is in there. Hello. Yeah, and then I want to thank the Coffee and Ham Radio guys for sending some guys over here.
Totally.
So here's what we're gonna do. I need to install AllStar in my truck. Okay.
Okay.
I have gotten to the point where I've got a Raspberry Pi that's behind the screen, and I've put it in my truck before, but I need something that I dedicated to my truck that turns on when my truck, ignition is on. It's got a small footprint. It has low power draw, or it's USB powered. I need it to, whenever it boots up, it connects to my hotspot or my RV hotspots, and that could be 2 SSIDs. So I don't know if that is possible in the Linux world. Maybe some of the guys in the chat can also chime in. And also, guys in the chat, guys and gals in the chat, if you've got any questions or anything that will help us, please put it in there. Once on the internet, I wanted to connect to a specific node. So I think that
Okay.
is like maybe a script or something we can put in the config file. I want to be able to verify the status of the hotspot from my phone. So obviously I'm going to be able to see the stats on my phone on what IP it is. I want to be able to get into like Supermon or something on my phone to be able to monitor the, you know, what's going on right through the, with the node. And then in Supermon, I'll be able to connect to other nodes via the website. But then I also, and we'll get into this, I'm a little confused on, do I run ham VoIP or do I install ASL directly onto, let's say we do a Raspberry Pi type thing. Do I install ASL directly there, or do I run VoIP, ham VoIP? So all of these different questions I have to get AllStar in my truck. Now, will we get through all these? I don't know, but we're going to have at least a discussion, and I'm going to bring up some stuff. Freddie's going to bring up some stuff on his screen, but this is just going to be a digital record of all the things we talk about, and then I'll probably go back and watch the stream and be like, "Oh, that's what he was talking about."
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah. Eric says like that list is long. You gotta make some coffee. Yeah.
We may be here in the morning when y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So okay, let's talk about hardware first.
Okay. Excuse me. Now you're wanting it in the truck, not the hiker trailer, right?
Correct. I want to be able to, I want to be able to get in the truck, and it's mostly. I felt left out whenever I went to Hamcation and everyone was on AllStar and everybody was driving down at once and I was not on AllStar and I could not get a hold of anybody. So, and that has happened a couple of times to me where I've been on road trips. It's going to happen again at Springfield whenever we go to
the Noir Expo.
Everyone's going to be, coming in from different areas, and I want to be able to coordinate, before we get into Springfield proper, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I think, Jody, I'm going to need some timestamps. You're right. Now this, let's do AllStar Raspberry Pi. There is, what is that little bitty piece of hardware that runs like a Raspberry Pi Zero?
There's a couple of them. Kits for Hams makes one.
That's okay. Let's bring up Kits for Hams.
That's a very good place to start. That was my first manufactured turnkey, a kit build, AllStar Link node. But my first node I built and almost melted it down.
Wow.
But Kits for Hams, man, what a great outfit.
So let's see. I was having trouble my computer locked up 10 minutes before I came on stream here. So if we lose the stream, it's been nice knowing everyone.
Yeah.
We'll
see you next time.
We'll see you next. So let me bring up my screen here and let me add it to the scene here. Okay, well, it's doing okay so far. So this is what I was thinking about getting.
Okay, so I haven't actually played with this one yet, but it's a good example. And there's a bunch of them out there, like the few that I haven't actually built, but and a lot of them I've seen in the wild. Now, there's nothing wrong with a Pi Zero node. But here's my first recommendation. It needs to be a Pi Zero 2.
Yes. And those are pretty hard to get.
Actually, I just bought one, a Pi Zero 2 with headers. This case I 3D printed. But I bought one with headers, got it on Amazon for like $27.
Okay, gotcha.
They're getting to be more and more. They've re-entered the manufacturer stream after COVID.
Okay, gotcha.
And the original Pi Zero didn't have Wi-Fi, and there's less RAM, and the processor wasn't as strong as this one. But even with a Pi Zero 2, you don't want to put a lot of add-ons. I'm all about the add-ons, for different features on AllStar Link. But if you're mobile, there's a lot of them you just don't need. Like, you really don't need DV Switch. You really, you could use Skywarn Plus. That's not a big load, but you don't need all the extra dashboards. You can get away with SuperMon and the built-on AllMon 3 that comes with the ASL version.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, HamVoIP was my meat and potatoes. That's my first AllStar Link operating system. It worked very strong at home, but in a mobile setting, if I wanted to run it Wi-Fi, it was a challenge for me, and it had a lot of quirks. So when ASL3 came along, they do Wi-Fi very, very well and very, very easily.
Gotcha.
And you can add multiple access points into that supplicant file, and they have a GUI for that now.
So what I could do, because my hotspot on my phone here that I always have in the car, that has got one SSID, but then I've got a hotspot, a GLI net, with a SIM card adapter that stays in the hiker. And what I'd like to do is be able to, if I'm pulling the hiker and this thing is acting up, I want to be able to turn that thing on in the hiker and it associate with that back there.
And it'll totally happen. But let's say, excuse me, the only real challenge comes in is if you're driving, obviously, and your phone hotspot is still on and you want it to switch to the other one, you're going to have to turn the phone hotspot off so that no longer see it. So it's going to punt and go to the other one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, okay.
I mean, you could stop and do it manually, but it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. What? So this is one solution. Did you say that there might have been another solution or something else out there that you would recommend?
Several hundred, actually, but this one, as a matter of fact, the one that you're showing is one of theirs that I've always been interested in trying, because that Pi Hat, that PCB that you're seeing there, it fits well. You can see the Raspberry Pi Zero 2 right on top of it.
Right.
It will have what's called an SA818 radio chip on that Pi Hat board with the little micro antenna port on it, which you just can't see in that picture. That is your radio. That's your node radio. It's pretty micro, and it's pretty, I mean, it'll do about a half a watt to a watt. And trust me, if that antenna is efficient, all you need, way more than you need.
Oh yeah. Right. It's going to be in the same cab, almost as the antenna, right?
Yep. And you're going to want to run, say you're just using a walkie or a mobile radio, you're going to want it on the lowest power setting possible so that you're not doing a little front end overload on there and burn up your node, which is possible. It's just less likely, but it can happen.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know.
So they also offer and it's not for a Pi Zero, actually. The one that, it's go to their list there. That's their Pi 3, their Shari Pi 3. That's one of their original ones. That one underneath it was the one that I had and accidentally burned up. Yep. I should have got the cooling fan for it. It works really, really well. And the next one is that Neo 5. It's a much better case, but the one underneath that, I'm actually going to purchase one of these, I think. It's the Pi Hat U, but it's just got a better case. It comes with a fan. If you got a Pi 4 or more, you want a stinking cooling fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Not how small, because they're going to get warm. And if they're in a vehicle, that's another consideration. It's because if they're sitting in there running, they're going to get warm.
Yeah. That's a good cut. Yeah.
Especially in the stink of the sun.
Yeah.
But I want to say they had one that's basically, that's it. The Dyna, I think it is. It's just a USB stick. And it plugs into a Pi of your choice, most likely the Pi 3 or better, because you need an A-size port. You can get an add-on hat board for a Pi Zero.
Yeah.
That will give you a couple of normal size USB ports.
Yep.
But you need a very good power supply. A lot of those power supplies that come for the Pi Zeros is a USB micro connection, and it's always 5 watts, but it's a much lower amperage.
Okay.
and you start adding on things, and it needs more power. So you want to get a good hefty that's 3.5 amp draw or better power supply for those.
Okay.
Oh boy, and that's something else. When you're doing personal builds, you can get those little buck converters off of Amazon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have so coming into the Pi, I've got a PD power supply.
Oh, good.
Right. So it's
Yes.
gonna have a ton of power. I mean, that thing's gonna be able to pump out, at 5 volts. I think that thing can probably do 7 or 8 amps, literally.
Oh yeah, and a Pi Zero is never going to pull quite that, but a Pi 5,
Yeah.
especially if you put the stick. Boy, howdy. The new kind of hard drives, SSD drives that look like a stick of memory.
Oh,
NV,
the
NVMe.
NVRAM or
yeah,
I know what you're talking
non-volatile
about. Yeah.
RAM. Anyway, if you put one of those on there for a hard drive instead of using a SD card, draws a little power. You're going to want at least something that's going to do 5 amps.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most you'll ever really pull. But the smaller ones, it's not going to pull that much. But you want to make sure it's got plenty of room. 3 to 4 amps, just so it has plenty to draw from.
Yeah.
Just to say that.
Okay.
But,
so this Dyna H, so one is just a USB A and one is a USB C. So these plug into a Pi and they have the radio built in. They've got the digital interface built in. So therefore, you run AllStar on your Pi, but these guys do all of the RF.
Yeah, and I may be leading you down the wrong path with the Dyna. I'm not sure. They have one that does, but there should be an antenna port on that. So I may be thinking about the wrong one from them, but I know they have one.
Because I know that I have, if you come up here, this is the one that I have. I've got the Sherry 3 Pi 3U.
Yes.
But I have it running on a 4, but I have just extension cables.
Oh, yeah.
That plug into the Pi or the USB ports.
It turns into a much better fit, in my opinion. Because I like end-to-end collaboration like that could be problematic if you've got it in a mobile setting.
Yeah. Yeah. That, one of the things that I want to be aware about is the power draw. I do have that PD power USB-C port available, but if I'm running Starlink and I want to run the Pi at the same time, I'll need to get another PD power because I've got I've got 2 batteries. I got my starter battery and then I got my lithium battery that are starter battery, obviously in the hood of the engine compartment. But then from the alternator, I'm charging my lithium battery in the back seat, which runs my fridge, and then all of my PD power for my Starlink and this and some other things are going to come off of that battery. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wire the one of these things, which is basically a box that says whenever your engine turns on. So it's got some dip switches here that you can run back to your engine compartment and say, hey, whenever my engine turns on, turn this thing on, allow power to go through. Right. And that's going to power one of the ports that is going to power the Raspberry Pi.
Perfect. So yeah, as soon as power is applied, it'll boot up on its own then.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't supply power until, how, like, I don't know if this is like this in modern engines, but there was that whole don't put a Pi in your engine or in your don't do what we're saying because the Pi, like the power can fluctuate and then the Pi doesn't like that and blah blah blah. This thing waits until you've got full power and then it
does its thing.
Yeah.
Make sure it's got enough to do its job before it gives it
right. And I'm sure that everything gonna need shutdown scripts. Oh, that's a good that's a good
here's the thing.
Idea. Okay, so let's go back to hardware here.
Yeah.
So
I want to say they had another an SA818 stick module. I thought it was them. I know Hotspot Radios does, and I thought that's what the dyno was, but there's a few of their products I haven't got to play with yet.
Okay.
But
What
everything
was-
that makes top notch.
What are some other? Did you have some other hardware in mind that you?
Look up hotspotradios.com. All one word, hotspotradios.com.
Okay.
Marshall and his team. Marshall's a retired LA County fireman, and him and his partner makes really cool stuff. This top one you see right here, this is the USB UHF duplex repeater. This is what I have in my truck.
Okay.
But it's a full duplex repeater. But I don't use those antennas. They're great around the house. Don't get me wrong. They don't interfere with each other and create a lot of intermod because it's really low power.
Okay.
And you can program those chips just like you can the single chip with the Shari,
Right.
Whatever you want it to be. But his products are only UHF. Kits for Hams does VHF and UHF.
Okay. Got it.
So these here are only UHF, but I took those antennas off. I put some small extensions on them, and the transmitter antennas outside of the truck, the receive antennas inside the truck. It's marvelous.
Wow.
You know where we camped out at Moore.
Right.
You know where Cousin Eddie was parked up against the fence. I was literally at the other end of the complex with it running, and I could be over there in front of the expo building on a handheld and talk on my AllStar Link node with no problem.
Wow.
It was very, very handy. But that is just basically a PCB with two pieces of plexiglass holding it together. It's literally about that thick. It has very low profile.
Okay.
And it runs a USB cord to your Raspberry Pi, and Bob's your uncle. You've got an AllStar Link node. But you can do so duplex like a repeater.
Gotcha. So this runs. Oh, it runs to the Pi. So this is just
the Pi. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just a USB cable that goes to the Pi.
Got it.
It gets its power from it, whole 9 yards. And it just works. This thing has been marvelous in my truck.
Got it. Okay.
Takes up little space. It's a little pricey, and you don't always need full duplex, but I found, when I'm out with others like that and they don't have an AllStar Link node and I've got mine up and running, I just got to say, well, tune into this frequency, with a positive offset, and we can talk to each other across campus, it's just a little convenience.
Yeah. Eric's asking for this in the chat. Let's see. There you go. Okay, interesting.
But they have they have that the one underneath it there, that's their turnkey model that runs off of a Pi 4. I think you can actually designate a Pi 5 if you want. I can't remember now, but they build it, and it's a simplex node, one frequency, half duplex, I should say, and works really, really well. It's very comparable to the Shari Pi Hat version over at Kits for Hams. And like I said before, these models, you can put all kinds of add-ons on them and they can take it. It's not a big deal. If you want to run DV Switch and Skywarn Plus and a bunch of other things, that's a bunch of scripts and things like that.
Yeah.
You can, I don't know if you can buy Marshall these in a kit or not, or if they're only turnkey. Because Kits for Hams, that's one thing I like about their products is you can buy it in a kit and do most of the work yourself.
Yeah.
I always did like kit builds.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with buying turnkey, especially with this little stuff. It's not a big deal. And all his products come with really good documentation as far as setup and things like that. But he's got another one that called the ARI the ARI USB is if you want to build your own node from your own radio. I've used.
Okay, gotcha.
My home node has one of these on it right now.
Yeah,
so I hook it to a Motorola radio and to a Pi, and I set the wattage down to about 10, but you can set it up to 50 if you got a cooling fan and do a long range node around the house, around town.
Yeah,
they're really, really cool. But
that's how we got AllStar into our repeater. Is we just hooked. Yeah,
very similar devices. A lot of people refer to them as sound fobs or sound cards. So yeah. Go to that Hotspot Radio USB. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one Jason has in his truck. This is the one he
All right.
upgraded to recently, and he runs a Pi 5 with an NVMe hard drive on it that to power it. And it's a smaller version. It's $98, pretty much turnkey, and you plug it into a Raspberry Pi with a USB cable, and Bob's your uncle again. It has a removable antenna if you want to put a higher efficiency antenna on there if you want. And
Yeah.
I want to say it does about, I can't remember if these do half watt or full watt, but it's never more than that. But very affordable. They ship quick from California. They're all here in the USA.
Could I run this off of a Raspberry Pi 2 watt?
I have no doubt that you could.
Interesting.
Thing is, with the Raspberry Pi 2.0
Right.
it you will have to get either a hat board for a USB or a dongle. You know, it's got the little micro USB option on the side.
Yeah. I've got one of those converters that converts it. I think it converts it to a USB-A, and it looks like this is USB-C.
Most likely,
Yeah. So I could just get that off of Amazon. But I mean, if I could run this with a here's my concern. I like this. Here is my concern with now looking at the kits for hams solution is if the Raspberry Pi people ever decide that they're not going to make Raspberry Pi Zeros anymore and you can't get them, well, then that kit is obsolete if, you know, something goes wrong with the Pi. At least on this, I've got this external antenna that I can connect it into whatever the next generation of Pi Zeros are, right?
Or a PC. You can do a micro PC. I've got one right next to me. It's one of those little Lenovo's that I'm running Debian on. I'm building an AllStar Link hub for our state Arden group. And you can easily connect a USB into it as long as it's, because this is your sound fob.
Right.
And radio all in one. So yes, you could run it off of a PC just as easily, even a micro PC. And you've seen some of those really small ones. That's about that. As long as it runs Debian Linux, you're golden. Yeah. You don't, you wouldn't necessarily have to have a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. I like this. I like this.
It's a pretty popular model, but don't decide on it yet till we look at everything.
Okay. All right. What else? What else you got?
Let's head over to allscan.info. You know, when I first became acquainted with AllScan, I was acquainted with their dashboard because they make a dashboard very similar to Supermon. But they also make a plethora of AllStar Link products. And a lot of what you're seeing right here are sound fobs, goes between the radio and the Pi. And some of these are radioless nodes that you connect to a Pi and use a microphone, and it does, you don't need a radio. It has a speaker it'll attach to it. You use a microphone from an Alinco radio or something similar, and you do all the talking basically like it is the radio.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got one of those I'm going to review pretty soon. But scroll down just a tad there. If you could see the walkie-talkies there connected to the little box, those are the, that's, I've actually got one of those. That is a full duplex node.
Okay.
On two Retevis RT85s. I mean, not exactly built for mobile use. These are mostly for around the house, but those ones down a little bit lower where you see a single radio on those interfaces.
Like down here?
Grayman Pota's got one of these in his truck. They make a 12-volt version to where
this AllScan AHN 100.
I think so, but he's got one. Yeah, they're running off those little Dell Weiss 3040s. They're little microcomputers. They were in a lot of hospitals. You know, we go into a hospital room and there's a terminal in there, and they come up, pull out the keyboard and do their thing. Well, these were connected to the back of the monitor. They're just little microcomputers. They either had 8 gig or 16 gig of SSD. I can never remember my acronyms. It's like a static hard drive.
Yeah.
And they had Dell's version of OS on there, and we'd just wipe them and put Linux on it. But he actually sells the little computers, but they will work with Raspberry Pis as well.
So this Wise 3040, it can run Debian.
Yep, totally.
Man,
Myself, there's a lot of them that are 8 gigs. The 16 gig version's a little bit better. It gives you some breathing room if you want to do a bunch of add-ons.
and you can run this off of 12 volts.
A lot of those were 12 volt versions. I bought 3 on a whim, and 2 of them were 12 volt. One of them was 5 volt.
I'm gonna have to give me a couple of these.
Yeah, they're handy even if you don't use them for AllStar Link. But
Right,
they don't make that model anymore. But there are a ton of them out there for resale.
huh? Interesting.
Yeah, and he's got a ton of devices.
Oh, here's the thing that you can.
Yep. You can buy these models from him. He refurbs them, resells them.
$60. Man,
eMMC. That's the type of memory I was trying to remember a while ago.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Frank as well. Ham Radio Wilderness Frank has the ANH 100. It's similar to Gray Man Potas. They're great. They both. Frank or Tim uses his mobile. That's the one he's talking on when he's traveling.
So Tim is using this setup right here.
I believe is that the ANH 100.
It is. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's using that same computer, or he might be using a Raspberry Pi. I can't remember which. I can't remember it all.
So the radio connects via the headphone jack and the PTT
into
this box, this pink looking box.
Mm-hmm. And he will build that. That's a build that he sells already in one integrated to the other.
Got it.
And then if you want the Dell computer, it's a little bit of an add-on, but it attaches.
Right.
Or if you want to do a Pi, you can do that as well. Look at that one right above it.
Yeah.
That's a new one that's coming up, and I'm working with it right now. You just get the board in the mail. I already bought myself a couple of Redivus RT85s. You get a couple of them for like $30-$40 off of Amazon. And it connects right to this board. You take the battery off, and the contacts right here on this board connect to the back port of the radio. You put a zip tie on it. It's already got the port holes for the zip tie. Put in the cables, and boom, you got an AllStar Link node.
And this thing runs off at 12 volts.
12 volts. I mean, actually 5 volts. It gets its whole power from the Pi. You run a USB cable from the Pi, so it's actually running off 5. So I do a little buck converter, 12 volts, 5 volts, and it's mobile if you want it. If you want it to be.
But on this picture, it's got that Wise 3040 in the back of it, right? Okay.
Right. You can do either. And
okay,
it's got
gotcha.
holes in the board for either the Weiss or the Raspberry Pi. Like I said, he's got a ton of different stuff on here, and dude, I don't know what it is because I have. Let me get this unplugged. This is
interesting.
The Yuri 141. I bought, or actually, he sent it to me. This.
Hang on. Let me bring you up. Highlight here. Yeah, go.
This is how it came from him. This is how, and I'm not sure if he still sells this model, but it's very similar if he doesn't. It's all already attached, and then all I got to do is take that USB cable, attach it to a Pi.
Right.
And I'm telling you, for a cheap little Redivus radio, the sound is awesome.
Now, does he supply the radio too?
Yeah, he'll put it all together. But if you buy this, that's coming up. You just alone, it's a kit build, so you got to get the radios, or I think gotcha. The radios too. He's oh my god, I can't emphasize how smart this guy is. He's an engineer in his brain.
Wow.
He puts together some amazing stuff, but his channel has his website has so many different options. It's good to study them all to see what fits best for you.
Yeah, I didn't even know that this existed. Okay. Yeah. Another rabbit hole.
Exactly. He designed some of these sound fob boxes with the 6-pin mini DIN connector on it, so they'll plug, if you get a 2-ended cable, plug right in the back of a lot of Yaesu radios. And I want to say some icons because I think they're all pinned the same, and it's almost a turnkey setup.
Yeah, I kind of like this full duplex radioless node.
That's one of the. I want to say that's the very model that I'm I'm going to do a review on. He sent it to me, and I get bombarded with a lot of stuff. I'm trying to prioritize which ones I do next, and
Yeah,
it's one I need to get done because it's nifty. It's nifty neato. Of course, it all is to me.
yeah, interesting. Okay.
Now,
Oh no, no more choices here.
there's a ton of choices,
Okay.
and that's all there is choices.
Okay, what do you got next?
One that I can't exclude. It's one that I still haven't bought yet. And if the nice folks over at Node Ventures are listening, they could send me one, and I would be definitely glad to evaluate it for them. Is the Clear Node. They make an outstanding node.
All right, where's Clear Node?
Look for Clear Node or Node Ventures. I think the name of their company is Node Ventures. There it is. And they have a few different choices as well. But
I like this.
It's pretty turnkey, and you can operate it and program all of it from an app on your phone. That's the beauty of it. It's a little pricey. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the upper end models that out there that you can get turnkey. And I don't think they have a kit build. I think they're turnkey only.
Okay.
But they also they have their own flavor of DV switch on there, so that you can also do digital modes like DMR and YSF. And
it's kind of an all-encompassing.
It really is. It really is. And like I said, I haven't played with it. I have been able to play with the app. A friend of mine said, "Hey, put the app on your phone and take a look around," and oh my gosh.
Woo, 385 though.
Yeah, it's up there. But if you're the guy that doesn't do kit builds and you want a good dependable something or other, and you've got the money to spend, this one will not let you down. If you can ask Eric in 1JUR, I think he's got one in his truck in a mobile environment.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
But, I mean, you could go a bunch of different ways.
Right.
But if you're like me and I like to build mine from radios, there's Repeater Builder that makes the Remelenko, which you've seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Masters Communications make a sound fob that has several different flavors of it. So you can put your own radio onto a node as well as Techno by George. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
You're right.
But,
right. Yeah. I've got a few of Master Communications boards.
Great products.
I forgot. He's always at Dayton in the flea market where they've got like this tent, right? That it's just all repeater stuff.
Him and oh geez, I wish I could remember his name. The repeater builder guy that
SCOM. Is it the SCOM guys?
SCOM, all those guys are usually right there.
Yep.
Those SCOM controllers. Oh my gosh, you talk about a unicorn. Those are probably the best repeater controllers ever built, and you can't get one. And if you do, you're going to pay double for it the day it was built. Yep. They're just really good stuff.
Okay. Is that hardware? I mean, we could probably go on for another hour, but
yeah. But these are some choices that you can make. Getting them into a mobile environment, there's several considerations, and you've already thought out yours. Because it sounds like you've really got your power thought out well.
I've got my power figured out. Yes.
Other considerations are antennas like these models here. You can put on an external antenna. Do you want one? Do you need one? Depending on what setting you're doing.
I don't think I need one because I think the only time that I'm going to be talking on this thing, well, I say this and then my scope of work might change, but my primary goal is to be able to use this in my truck with my radio, in the truck and the antenna, right beside my head. Right.
Right. Yeah. And that setup right there, totally good. Once you get it set up, get your audio levels where you want them. Yeah. It'll be rock solid for a good long time.
Yeah.
Your biggest consideration in a mobile environment is getting it shut down properly.
Yeah. Eric talked about the shutdown scripts.
Yep. I've got a few of them out there. There's others. It's just something where you can, and I do it in a DTMF, star 991 or something like that, so that it does a shutdown.
So what you're saying is whenever I know that I'm going to pull into the gas station and shut the truck off, I need to get on the mic and do like a DTMF tone to shut that thing down.
Yes, if you're going to turn, if you know your pie's going to lose power,
Okay.
do that. But here's what I did, and I'm not saying this is what you should do, just a consideration. So under my back seat of my truck, I have two 10 amp hour batteries that are in parallel or series. This is the part I always get wrong. They're both 12 volts.
They're in parallel then.
They're in parallel then. And they power my Raspberry Pi through a buck converter.
Okay.
And then I toggle the buck converter. There's a switch on it where I can toggle it to turn it on. But if I turn off the key and go to get gas or go eat lunch or something like that, and I get right back in the truck, it's still going the whole time. I don't have to shut it down.
Yeah.
So you're kind of taking away from some of the hassle,
right,
of doing that. Because if you know you're going to turn it off, and you know it's going to lose power unless you've got full-time power to the node, you want to shut it down softly, because now I got away with it a lot of times where I'm like forgot and turned off the power and before I set all this up.
Yeah.
But you get it that one time when that SD card gets corrupt and you got to start all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I'm going to power that Pi off of my LiPo battery. It's 100 amp hour in the back of my truck. Right. And I charge that thing through a DC to DC converter. Okay. When my Tacoma wants to behave, because it's got a smart alternator in it.
Oh,
and sometimes it doesn't want to give the DC to DC converter all of the amperage, or it wants to just shut everything down because it thinks that my starting battery is up to, the level that it, and it's like, oh, I can kind of shut off here for a while, but, I can totally put a switch in series to that PD power distribution block that I'm wiring up. Mm-hmm. And on long road trips, like if I'm going to Walmart or I'm going across town and I'm not going to, a lot of times I don't even turn on my radio.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not going to use my node, I can literally probably put a switch on the dash to be like, AllStar node on, click, and exactly. It just stays on and gets power from that lithium battery.
And it'll last a good long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're on a net. No, I'm kidding.
Well, and
power draw's minimal.
Yeah. I mean, my fridge, I can usually run my fridge about 3 days on that battery, and it needs to have some more juice. Like, we'll pull into more on Wednesday, and I'll probably be on fumes whenever we pull out on Sunday.
That's all right. That's all right.
So anyway, what are the guys saying in here?
Eric says you'll never switch it off, Kyle.
I know. Yeah. I hear you. Dude, quit yelling at me.
I've been there, done it.
The draw is minimal on a 100 amp hour battery if you got a DC to yeah. But the problem is sometimes that DC to DC converter doesn't want to charge the battery because of the smart alternator.
Is yours a Victron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought one of those and I haven't implemented it yet. So I just wanted, what I'm doing, my truck I have that Ram, and it came with built-in inverters.
Yeah.
There's one in the front, one in the back. So I plug in a charger to that and ran the cable all around pretty.
Yep.
Yep. Charges those batteries while I'm going down the road.
Yep.
But I wanted to put in a bigger battery and do a Victron 12 charge, DC to DC charger to take care of that while I'm driving.
Yep. Okay. So I'll give you some advice. I'll give you my advice. I don't know if this is the right way, but there is a YouTube channel out there called, let's see, I forgot what it was called. YouTube. It's like, Explorist Life, the Explorist Life.
Oh, the Explorist Life.
Yeah, and they do it like van builds and a whole bunch of stuff with Victron equipment. And they have a manual. If you type in like the Explorist Life Victron manual, Explorist Life Victron programming guide. Here it is. Here it is. Everyone just hold your horses.
Calm down, everyone.
Everybody calm down. Just so this is a PDF guide that they put together on all of the, okay, so if you come in here, they've got 12-volt system programming. So if you come down here to the DC to DC charger, I don't know if you got the 50 amp, but they've got all of the settings that you need to set.
Oh, wow. I love this already.
So if you've got other stuff, I mean, there's not many settings on the 12 or on the DC to DC, but if you've got other things like here's the Orion TR Smart, which is their MPPT controller. Here's their there's an isolated DC to DC charger, the Quattro. Like, so they've got all of the programming that you need for any of your Victron stuff. Doesn't matter if it's 12 volt, 24 volts. So anyway,
I got 3 of their solar charge controllers in my battery boxes. So
yeah, so go out there and take a look at these and see if you know, you got your settings correct, because they've been doing this a while and they got a really good YouTube channel too.
A lot longer than me, so I'm going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I love stuff like this.
Yeah. So they've done all the hard work for you.
Oh, man. Yeah, and Victron seems to be, I love that Bluetooth feature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To the controller. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's great.
So much a time saver.
Okay. So obviously whatever let's say I've got the hardware purchased, right? And it's running on a Raspberry Pi, it's running Debian. Where should I go whenever I put my first build on my Raspberry Pi and I need to get ASL on it? Where should do you have a video on how to compile and put it on?
I do. I've actually got a few of them. But I did one recently, excuse me. I did one recently for the latest version of Debian, aka Raspbian, is Trixie. They call it Debian 13.
There's Mike.
Hey, Mike.
You can tell whose videos I've been watching.
Of the United States.
Let's see. Ham Radio Crusader. Oh my God, it's been
performance anxiety. I get it, man.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Okay, so I've got one. Let's go down a little bit. I think. Oh no, I thought that was it. I've got one called a quick and dirty install for Trixie.
Oh, okay, Aaron. Let's.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Oh my gosh, I should go back. There we go.
And this is the abridged version. It's. I mean, everything you need to get that first initial setup is here, but you go to repo.allstarlink.org, and the link is in the description of that video. Okay. Get the image that you want. There's a Raspberry Pi image in
they've got it already built.
Yes, and all you got to do, I use the Raspberry Pi imager.
Yeah.
And I'd say this with a caveat now, because I used version 1.9.6 of that imager for the longest time, because they let you put your host name in there and your login credentials in that, and it burns it to the image.
Yeah, right.
Well, version 2 came around. They took that feature away. But I think they've added it back again in a recent upgrade, and I haven't went back and actually tested that theory. But
so what you're saying is go back, make sure you got the latest and greatest Raspberry Pi imager.
I think that's the fact. Now, the version that I use is in this video, and what this video covers is a basic ASL3 install for a Raspberry Pi, and setup for. I have a script out there called the multi-app script installer. So a lot of times when I build a new node, there's 4 things that I always wanted on it: DV switch, Supermon, AllScan, it's their dashboard.
Yeah.
And Skywarn Plus. Skywarn Plus is a must-have for me.
Yeah, I want that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that multi-app installer from my GitHub will do all 4 of those at the same time.
Do you have, where's your link to your GitHub?
It should be in there, but it's github.com/KD5FMU.
Oh, don't look at my Raspberry, my Missouri QSO party repositories. Oh, geez.
I tell you what, I should have started with GitHub a lot sooner than I did. I am actually still learning the ins and outs of GitHub. It is so useful.
KF5?
No, KD5. Kilo
KD5,
Delta 5.
FMU.
Foxtrot Mike uniform, yeah. And I dolled it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But those there that are pinned are some of my most used scripts.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, right now, Mason N5LSN, who wrote Skywarn Plus, is not developing anything any further. He's actually a big part of the ASL world when it comes to dealing with voters and voter systems with AllStar Link. He's working with a bunch of guys pretty close on that. So his installer will not work on Trixie, but my installer, which Jory W5GLE fixed, he fixed my installer to actually get Skywarn Plus, and it'll install it on Trixie. There was some minor upgrade, and I can't remember to something, but nonetheless, if you got a version of Trixie out there, Debian 13, whatever for ASL, and you can't get Skywarn Plus to install, try my multi-installer app. And the beautiful thing about that multi-installer app is you can pick and choose which ones you want to install. You could use it to just install one of the 4.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a catch-all or one or nothing or one or all. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
It's really handy. But and then videos that cover kind of the setup of each individual thing. But
yep.
The others that of course I've got, geez, I don't know how many script files in there, but some of them do really simple things. Some of them are a little more complicated, but a gentleman over in Arkansas, James Carnathan, I'm trying to remember his call sign. I am so terrible with call signs.
Welcome to my world,
dude. And I'm just trying to hold them all in my head, but he recently made an add-on to Supermon. It actually adds it on to Supermon and Allmon. It's called Announcement Manager, so that you can do text to speech and schedule some things as far as announcements that go over your node locally, or you can make it go globally over the network, which I don't recommend for every situation.
Right.
But nonetheless, those 6 there are the ones that are pinned. If you go up to the top up there and hit repositories, and then I've got 2 pages worth, and some of them, like I said, are just really insignificant stuff that I'm working on. I've got several that are hidden, that projects that didn't really go anywhere, but
right.
I got into customizing your Supermon page and a bunch of other things, but I did the startup shutdown. I'm not startup. There's 2 scripts in there that will shut down your node, or one of them that will reboot your node.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for just a DTMF shutdown reboot.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, it's pretty simple. It's a couple of script files, but you got to make an addition to your rpt.conf to add in those DTMF codes.
Yeah, which is hard.
Invariably going down the road, something will go wrong with the internet or whatever, and you're like, I just need to reboot my node.
Right. And I don't want to pull over.
Exactly.
I'm in drive mode, man.
I've got to make some time. I got to get in. And I just, key up, do a star, and I think it's 991.
Yep.
And wait for it to reboot, because I also have a script in there it's called, connection announce or internet monitor. And I've been testing it for a while, and it's working. If you're going down the road and you hit that spot in the highway that has no internet, this script file, it's on a cron job, is constantly checking like every 3 minutes. Hey, you got a connection? You do? Okay, do nothing. And
yeah.
Hey, you got a connection? You don't? It's like, oh no. So then a voice comes over the air and says, internet disconnected.
Which one is that?
It's in internet monitor, I think.
Internet monitor. Okay. Well, first, hang on. I gotta stop here. Scott Gibson, Kyle, I have a Sherry Pie Zero on its way to you. I don't use it. I didn't bother to wipe the micro SD card, so please do when you get it. Scott!
We're going to impersonate you, Scott.
Holy crap. Scott.
That's totally awesome. This is a great way to start, man.
Thank you. I don't know what to say, but let me know what I owe you. Just drop me an email, KyleCraig@gmail.com, or I'm good on QRZ. Tell me what you need for this. And I'll get you this. You'll get the shipping info. Let me pay you something for this, because I think that was what I was going to get. That's what I was looking to get. So please let me know what I owe you.
Yeah, and I totally like to see it in person. So bring it to more with you.
Yeah, I'll bring it to more. Yeah.
But I have often looked at that particular model and I thought, man, is this the one I want? And early on, it was always a matter of budget. But nowadays, it's like, do I do it? I have like 12 nodes.
Well,
but I really would like to see it.
Yeah. Well, Scott, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Yeah, let me know when you ship it, and please let me know what I can do for you to compensate you. I appreciate it very much. So
Jody says the GPS sensing you stayed more than 30 minutes at a Buc-ee's and had too much brisket. So
I did sleep at a Buc-ee's coming back from Hamgation. So
hey, if there was a place you had to pull over and sleep and do that.
I mean, it's here. I even have here. I even have proof. Like, here's that's where I slept, right there.
That is awesome. Urban camping, baby.
Yep.
I did it on the way to Dayton one year. I was in the back of a Love's parking lot with cousin Eddie, hooked up to nothing. I was literally alongside the road because I couldn't drive any longer.
Yeah,
I would have rather been at a Buc-ee's.
This was north of Georgia in Calhoun, I believe, Georgia, if anybody knows where that's at. And this is like at, I don't know, 11 p.m. Pulled in there, went in, used the restroom, brushed my teeth, and asked the manager if I could sleep out here. And she's like, yeah, as long as you slept, on this side of the parking lot. I was totally expecting to get a knock, but I didn't. But the bad thing was, at 5 a.m., I swear 20 tour buses or 20 buses showed up at Buc-ee's and surrounded. I couldn't even get out. There were so many buses. And it was like, I have never seen so many kids in my life. I mean, they were just all in. I got up, right? So then I had to go to the bathroom. So I had to walk into Buc-ee's, and it was like there was 150 kids in that Buc-ee's at 5 a.m.
And they're all like, Mom, there's some drunk guy walking in.
Yeah. I got a straggled hair all over the place. I got my toothbrush in my hand. I'm just like, get out of my way. I'm going to brush my teeth.
I just need a bathroom.
Yeah, I just need a bathroom and a toothbrush. So anyway, okay. So back to your internet monitor, ASL3. This is okay. Gotcha.
Easier installs.
Man, you got all the scripts.
Well, and it's not just me. I had help from a lot of people and ChatGPT. I'm not going to lie, but I never took ChatGPT for its word.
Yeah.
I have a direct line to the guys at ASL3, and it's like, hey, tell me, does this look like to you? And give me your ideas. And most of the time, there's one or two little tweaks in there they'd suggest, and never demand anything. Those guys are great. And yeah, I've been testing this for a while because me and Jason, we both were sitting around, I think last year at Moore. It's like, man, we wish we had something like this, because invariably if I'm driving to Dayton or I'm driving to Huntsville and I lose connection, I don't know it because it doesn't make a sound. It just, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, I'm not hooked up to anybody anymore. I noticed that the node's gone quiet because I'm usually hooked up to Jason's hub.
Right.
And nobody's talking anymore. And I get to pull up Node Remote or Supermon and notice that, oh, well, I'm not connected to anybody. Yeah. I've got to reconnect.
Right. Okay.
And with that said, I helped Bill with this the other day. we put what I call it's a connection script, and I have a name for it, but here I go with performance anxiety, and I can't think of the name of the stuff I want to tell you. But it's basically a script. Let's say you're driving and you want to stay connected to Jason's hub, or you want to stay connected to the East Coast reflector, or whatever. This node, this script checks every 3 minutes. Hey, am I connected to this node? Yes. Okay, do nothing. If I'm not connected, am I connected to this node? No. Well, reconnect.
Yeah. Okay.
Get a reconnect script.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just doing everyday driving and stuff like that, I disable mine when I'm just doing normal stuff. But if I'm on the way, I want to stay connected because I don't always know if I'm connected to the internet. But an internet monitor will tell you once you've been disconnected from the internet, so you know that other connection you had, you just lost.
Right.
And when it reconnects, it'll say internet reconnected. And,
gotcha. Okay.
And it's just a handy little cue to have.
Yeah. Scott says the only payment I will take is send your viewers to Frank in a minute. So everyone, let's go over to
Frank's stream starting up a bit.
Yeah. So let's go to YouTube and let's take a look at Ham. Oh my gosh. Ham Radio Wilderness. If you guys go over to Frank's live stream over here.
Is Broken Shacks anything like Broken Homes?
we'll be done in a bit, but after you're done, if you want something to do after this stream, go to Frank's stream, Ham Radio Wilderness on YouTube. Go over and send him a like and a subscribe, and
totally.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
Scott's a great guy.
Yeah. So no actual hands-on tonight. No. I mean, I will make a video once I get everything put in and show you guys what I put together. But yeah, that's another chapter.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
And you have a little time tweaking your setup, and the hardest part about the software at the very beginning is just getting those audio levels where you want them.
Yeah, and you do that through the USB or that utility that is, or is that
it's called Simple Tune USB is what we used to call it, and it still really is. But at the menu now, it's called Command Line CLI. No, that's not right either.
No,
you'd think I'd have all this memorized.
But I know what you're talking about, where you talk into it and it gives the little arrow and it shoots over, and you need to put it in between the 5 and the 3 kilohertz to make sure that
the deviation's right. You want your transmit audio where you want it, and you got to usually with the Sherry Pie hats, you've got to do item I and item J in ASL3. The first one is USB invert. The second one is no, and you're usually golden.
Right.
And then just audio settings after that to where you want it. And don't forget the parrot node. The one in Texas.
Yeah.
55553. God, that thing saved your life.
Yep. Eric said, man, that satellite. No, it's still right here. It works. Been using it all the time. I don't have an antenna attached to it right now because I'm going to change the board in it because I got a new board. But yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, we haven't seen a satellite video in a minute.
Yeah, it's
all of Kyle's satellite videos.
They're coming. They're I got to get the new board in it. I want to get the new board, and I'm doing a stream on the creator. He's got a new app. He's got new firmware, so we're gonna do a stream on that. So
love new firmware.
Yeah. Okay, Freddie. So Scott's gonna send me that board again. Thank you, Scott, for that. Sending me that board. Then what I need to do is I need to go to your YouTube page and take a look at installing Trixie with ASL already compiled in it, right? Yep. And it'll come down. I flash the Pi, I boot it up, and I'm assuming once I connect it to my monitor, it's going to walk me through the install to put my node number and all of that other stuff, right?
They have a landing page now. I actually have had it with ASL3 from the beginning. It's just a little more elaborate. So in your setup, if you put a local host name in of, let's just say aa0z.local, once the Pi is booted up and you're on the same network as that Pi and you go to a browser and you type in aa0z.local, you will get a landing page.
Okay.
3 different things. And that's a picture of that landing page right there.
Gotcha.
The one on the far left will get you into the cockpit where you can do a lot of your setup. And there's even a terminal in there. It's an SSH session in one of those tabs. Once you hit web admin portal, it'll take you to the cockpit. And then you will have a bunch of choices there in the left-hand column, which it's not shown here, but one of them is terminal. And you can do your SSH session right there if you want to.
Gotcha. Okay.
You can also do some custom network setup there as well. Like me for my home node, I like for that to be a static IP internally.
Right.
And I can set that there. Or let's say you want to manage your node outside of your network with a Supermon. Let's say your node's at home and you're in Alaska.
Yep.
And you want to log into your Supermon node or Supermon dashboard into your node. You can open a port up because there's a firewall in your ASL software now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you got your home firewall, and then you got to open that port there, and then you got to open it in your AllStar link node. And there's a few videos about that as well. But like I said, you need fine tuning. I'm right here just a moment away. So.
Yeah. So then after I'm done with setting up ASL3 and I got my node set up and my audio level's good and it's connected to the internet, then I can come over here to your GitHub and go through, let's say I want to do the internet monitoring script. So then I can just follow your instructions.
Follow those instructions and they'll give you the commands you need.
Yep.
And then I need the little double squares on the right will let you copy and paste them.
Yes. Yep. So you can copy this command and paste it into your SSH terminal or your telnet terminal or whatnot. And I'm assuming after, so you restart. Oh, it has a service. Oh, wow. That's cool. And it just doesn't run as a cron job. It's an actual service. That's awesome.
Some of them do run as a service. Yeah.
Okay. But then I'm assuming. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is just the internet monitor is running outside of ASL, but some of these other things that modify, like your shutdown reboot, is probably just a script too. I'm thinking
it is, but you have to make some additions into rpt.conf so that it will recognize those DTMF commands.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So from that perspective, you need to restart AllStar.
Right.
Or Asterisk.
You can restart Asterisk server or do a reboot of your node. My Linux guys that are like, you don't have to do that. I'm a Windows guy. It's a habit. I reboot stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Hey, Jody, thanks for the $3.08. Great stream. Capture Freddie's knowledge. Yeah.
Jody's awesome.
Jody's awesome. Yep. Okay. Is there anything else that I'm missing here that you would recommend me diving into?
For initial setups, I think we've covered a lot of those ground basics. There's a bunch of rabbit hole stuff that I'm starting to get into now that I won't clog your mind with yet, but I'll talk to you about it at more. And because there's some ideas I want to bounce off some other folks as well, but
okay.
There's a lot.
Yeah. I want to install the weather,
Skywarn Plus.
Yeah, the Skywarn Plus. Where do I get that from?
It's part of the multi-app install.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Supermon 4.7, AllStar Link 3.
Well, that's ASL. This is the ASL 3 version, which is why that's there. So that X is DV switch.
DV switch. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna install that.
It's probably not something you're gonna need in a mobile environment.
Okay,
it's great for a home server.
Skywarn Plus, and then what is?
That's the AllStar dashboard. It is a very eye candy kind of a dashboard.
Gotcha.
It's pretty popular and functional too, so there's nothing wrong with that. But SL3 comes with its own dashboard. It's Allmon 3, and
Okay, yeah.
it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, and I like it on a phone because it conforms to whatever resolution you're at.
That's what I was going to ask you about Supermon. Does Supermon look good on a phone? Because the last time I brought it up on my phone, it was pretty janky.
No, it's probably pretty much the same. It just doesn't conform to a phone like Allmon 3 does. Now, if you've got a tablet in your car, like how Jason runs a tablet, which I'm very seriously thinking about doing a similar setup, it gives you a little more screen room to be able to see it. But since Allmon 3, since he discovered that, I think he uses it more often than not because it conforms to your screen so well. It's easier to see and visualize, and as your screen ratio changes, it changes with it.
Okay.
It's very fluid.
I bought a 7-inch Chinese tablet that I run. What is now I'm blanking. The maps, somebody in the chat help me. It's like overlanding maps, Gaia. Gaia GPS.
Yeah.
And I bought that subscription last year at More. Actually, it's probably coming up. So I do have a tablet, but I might not have a tablet all the time. So something that looks good on the phone will probably be best.
And I've got a few videos out there for Node Remote, but it works on Android and iOS, but it works better on iOS.
Oh, gotcha.
It was written for iOS, and with iOS, you could add several of your nodes in that app, whereas the Android version, it works with one node at a time. And it's basically I call it a handheld control head. It doesn't pass audio to or from, but it allows you to control your node. It's just hot buttons where you can connect to different presets.
Yeah.
Nodes, or you can make it say the time. There's some minor functionality in there too, but it's great when you're going down the road. But you could only see one of the nodes that you're connected to. Let's say you connect it to Jason's hub. It'll say on the screen who you're connected to, but it doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you that bubble chart like where you can see everybody else.
Yeah. I like the bubble chart. I like to be like, look at all the people connected.
Yeah. It's like, I love bubble chart.
Yeah.
Totally handy.
Okay. All right. I think I'm on information overload, but that's good. What I can do is, once I get the node and get it configured and start playing around with it and get some time underneath my belt, then whenever I see you at More, we can kind of explore more advanced topics, and you can be like, hey, have you seen this? But this is great, but this is your next step,
Yes. And if I could throw a pitch out there for G1LRO, I can't remember his first name, but he's over in Guernsey, England. He's doing a lot of AllStar stuff. But he is working, from what I understand, he's working on an all-inclusive, easier to set up AllStar Link image. I don't know that he actually has that out yet, but he's done some other stuff for AllStar Link that is very, very clean and very, very ease of use, like, for the non-command line type person. It's a good GitHub. I don't think he has an actual website, but I'm pretty sure he has a GitHub. G1LRO, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, GitHub G1LRO.
Yeah, if I've got it right, I'm pretty sure I do.
Let's see. Yeah, here we go.
That's him. Take a look around over there for some interesting AllStar Link stuff as well. So,
okay,
man's a genius.
Yeah. All right, very good. I'll play around with this. All right, Freddie Mac, I think you've said it all.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's so many different things you can do with AllStar Link, and the beautiful thing about it to me is customization. You can do as much or as little as you want to do for your setup. So Yeah, I'm constantly doing something.
Yeah, I'm excited about getting this thing in my truck, and I was having FOMO. I was missing out on all these conversations, and I was bummed. So I don't want to be bummed anymore.
As was I, because I didn't get to go. And I'm missing Hamvention this year too. I got a daughter and a grandchild, two grandchildren graduating different things. And
yeah,
so
that's what you said.
I hate it.
Well,
but it's all for good. I get to go to Huntsville, so I can see everybody again.
Jody says, I think you've generated a lot of economic activity tonight. Credit cards be running hard.
Oh man, it don't take long.
Well, thank you, Freddie Mac. Let me bring everyone back. Let's see, remove here. Thank you, Freddie Mac. Appreciate it.
Totally my pleasure. My pleasure.
And yeah, everyone go over and subscribe to Freddie Mac's YouTube channel. And yeah, guess we'll thanks for everyone in the chat tonight. Appreciate it. All of the comments. And yeah, we'll get this figured out, and I'll make a video on it. And yeah, and Freddie will
Scott is the star of the show tonight, my friend.
Right. Scott, stop.
This is for your battery that you're going to need.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Yeah. Eric, the only one who has this but Maya Squeller. How did that work? Oh. So you have to thanks, Scott. Scott is the show of the or the star of the show tonight. So
totally.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. Thank you. I will put that towards some things on the AllStar. So, all right, Freddie. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah, you're a plethora of knowledge, and I appreciate you. So,
back at you.
We will. We'll see you guys. I don't know if we're going to stream live for more, but yeah. We'll keep everyone up to date, and I'm sure that Jason's probably going to have a more stream.
I'm sure of it. He usually does a walkthrough stream. If we'll talk him into doing something around the camp.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that's it from St. Louis land. Hope everything is good in Oklahoma, and we'll catch you between tornadoes. So.
Totally.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.